Hey there, welcome to another segment of MUA TV's Spotlight on Success. Today my special guest is master makeup artist Mr. Bill McCoy. Now Bill has actually worked at my school in Orlando back years ago. He actually worked for me for 10 years as a terrific instructor. He's really a master at his craft. And he then went on to greater heights working in the industry. And we now have the fine opportunity of having him back to also teach classes here at our Orlando Makeup Center. And so I'd like to welcome back Mr. Bill McCoy. Bill?
How's it going? I'm
good. Welcome back, buddy. Hey, God, you're one of our graduates, right?
94?
94.
94, I want to say. Maybe
Is that back when we were
95.
still teaching from my videotapes? A lot of the stuff was on the videotapes.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, so you got it right from the horse's mouth there.
It was, and I remember there was some complaints from other students that, you know, oh, we watch a lot of videos. And I'm like, yeah, but you can't rewind an instructor. I can watch those tapes again.
That's right, and again, and again. As a matter of fact, we used to train the instructors that way. All the instructors.
Yeah, I got trained.
Yeah, you were trained that way. Tom Blasco was trained that way. I remember putting Tom into the conference room. I mean, he literally would sit in there for hours and days, and days.
He actually gave me a handwritten spiral notebook that had word for word everything that you had said on the tape.
Really?
And then he wrote little pause points on it so that you could pause the tape here, discuss this with the students.
Right.
Like he had it down, like every word, and I remember looking at it and going, wow, you got a lot of time on your hands.
Yeah. It's funny. He was a good teacher.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Yeah, he's working here in Orlando. He's done a lot of stuff. He's a good man. Okay, let's go back. Where are you from?
Originally, I'm from, born in Kentucky, raised in Alabama. When I got tired of college, I came out to go to Joe Blasco.
Yes.
So I was actually a music major in college.
Yes. And what year again was this?
94, 95, I want to say.
Yeah.
Around there. I actually need to...
Now,
I have a diploma somewhere.
Yes, you do. You better.
Somewhere.
Okay. Now, you know, we started off on Highland Avenue downtown. Were you in that school?
Yes.
You started there.
Yes.
And we were doing Universal Horror Nights still, were we not?
No,
we had just finished.
Just finished that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, those were the days. Those were great days.
And then we moved to the Sand Lake West location while I was an assistant instructor with Tom.
Yes.
Right.
And we've moved now 2 times since then.
2 times since
and now we're in our new facility right here. We're still at Sand Lake, right off of the famous International Drive right here in Orlando, Florida. Let's talk about your career, all right? Now,
my favorite subject.
Yeah. We know that you came to my school. We know that you were with me off and on for 10 years, mainly more on than off. And let's pick up from the point where you became a member of the union. As you recall, my school in Orlando was a union signator. I tried for years, 2 or at least 3 years, to become a union signator in Los Angeles, but for some reason, politically or otherwise, that never came to pass. Right. So I became a signator for local. That was local 706. But so I became
798.
Yeah, so I became a signator, and there's nothing wrong with that. I love everybody at 706, and I'm sure there were reasons why they didn't follow through with that. But I was really gung ho there for a while, and I pushed and pushed and pushed, but it didn't seem to move any mountains. And so I thought, well, I've got my East Coast school. I'd like to benefit the union. I'd like to pay into the pension, the welfare, and all this and all of that.
Which was one of the best things that could have happened for me because I was an assistant instructor. No, I think I was.
No, by that time you had become.
I was an instructor at that time.
Yes, and you were working here
full time.
And Jay Canestrassi was also another instructor, great guy.
And because the school went union, I got the grandfather clause.
Exactly. Well, that was one of the deals. No, that was the deal that I made with 798 is that my instructors would be grandfathered in, and you know, they gave you a test which you passed with flying colors, Yes, which is something that they still do. 798 still gives a test, but 706 doesn't.
They don't do a test?
No, 706 doesn't do a test. I believe, honestly, they pretty much got their acts together there as far as that's concerned, and I think that they're doing the right thing. There are so many people, I mean, literally so many people that are trying to get into the union there, and that they have generally, and in the old days, there were so many people that they would fail, and so many people that would try to file suit.
And that's, I disagree with the test system only because of the inconsistencies.
Well, I agree.
There's no way that you can, it's art, and it's being judged in a way that if I were to judge it, you might judge it differently.
Right, exactly.
There's different standards, and there's no way to take a picture of it, hold it up to another picture, and say this is right and this is wrong.
Right, exactly.
I mean, it might suck.
Well,
if it's horrible.
There are a few exceptions. Yeah. For instance, if somebody puts a beard on and it looks like a hair mattress and it doesn't anatomically really look right. The point here is that if you do a makeup, whether it may be a beauty makeup or an injury makeup or a beard or a bald cap or whatever, a disease, it's got to look real.
It's got to look real.
It's got to be camera ready. It has to look real. If it looks like makeup and it calls attention to itself as being makeup, then obviously it's not right.
But, But who's to judge that?
Anybody that understands anatomy.
Well, and it goes back to what you were saying with the politics of it, though.
I love this guy.
Sometimes the guy judging it is not the person that should be the person judging.
That's true. And the people that are judging are not normally the people that are hiring, but sometimes they are. And but it's all changed now, and there are no more people suing the union, as far as I know, as far as for not having passed the exam. And which was really becoming to be a big problem in Los Angeles, from what I've been told. And
because they were paying to take the test.
Oh yeah, and then they failed, and then they have to take it again and again.
It's a good racket.
Well, no, it's not. It's not a racket. They failed because, the people that were testing didn't feel that that these people were, up to snuff. But then again, you have a point. Who's to judge? Who's to judge? But so apparently they have that same concept now, and they've now are no longer testing. And I don't know what the fee is these days, $5,000, $6,000 to get in, $4,000, $5,000. Well, back in my day when I went in, it was like $1,000 or a little under, something like that. And but what they do have now in Los Angeles with Local 706, which I think is fantastic, and they do not have this in New York, that I know of, is an association between the union 706 and Contract Services Producers Association. Wow. So what they do is the Contract Services Division of the Producers Association organizes classes, and they will use facilities. Like, for instance, they used my facility for a long time, and they're welcome back to my facility. And
is that for continuing education?
Yes, for continuing education. Okay. They pay $25 a head. They come in. They are required to do it if they are to maintain their status and to grow.
Because that's cosmetologists are required to have continuing education.
Absolutely, and teachers as well, because I teach the teachers here, and I have continuing education. MUA-TV is considered continuing education. If you are a teacher in another makeup school, listen up, you out there. If you're a teacher in another makeup school, you can actually put down that you watch X so many hours of MUA-TV as continuing education. All you got to do is write us a letter, let us know who you are, let us know what school you're teaching at, and we'll be more than happy, to validate the fact that, you have watched this, and that. Only if it's true, all right? Well, and I don't know how they go about proving that. What we were thinking of doing was having people come in and testing them and certifying them as MUA-TV certified makeup artists, and then they actually are then tested for what they claim they've seen. But one thing that you absolutely can use with the Board of Education, since the other is a little bit questionable, is the makeupspace.com. Are you familiar with that?
No.
Okay, the makeupspace.com is another one of my little inventions recently, where we have Greg Canham, Matthew Mungle, B. Neal, you know,
heavy
Bob
hitters.
Romero. I mean, you know, all the heavy hitters, Ronnie Spector, et cetera, and Kim Green, on and on and on. GM, Foam, Gil Mosco, and Landy Dean from New York, that actually give like 2 and 3 hour seminars, but you pay for them. You have continuing education, and this can be used as continuing education for teachers. Okay. Anyway, so and we are right now about to open another makeup facility, a Joe Blasco Makeup Artist Training Center facility in New York City.
Wow.
Yeah, it's actually 500, what is it, 8th Street, in Midtown Manhattan, right by the Empire State Building, 1 block away from Penn Station. I mean, you can literally come into Penn Station from anywhere in New York and walk 1 block and you're right there at our school. Nice. I mean, it couldn't be more, you know, centrally located.
In your face.
Yeah, right there. It's right there. And I'm right now pulling together a group of really fine people that will be instructing at the school.
New York's full of
full of
talent.
And the greatest thing about this is that don't ask me how, but if you take one of the beauty courses that are being taught at the school there, you will also be eligible for an esthetician's license. All right, so that takes it.
I'm not allowed to ask you how.
No, because we're still working that out.
Still working on the logistics.
So all of you others, eat your heart out.
Right.
So, and then the next step is to actually license the makeup artists. And that's coming very close too, and that will only be through our school. So end of story there. So, but now that's August 9th. We start that facility, and I'd like you actually perhaps to give some consideration, since you are Local 798, to come out and to do some teaching at the New York facility.
Oh yeah.
I think that would be terrific. And
I love New York. And that's not just a T-shirt slogan.
No, I know. I know. So, okay, all right, you left the school.
Yep.
Enough of this. You left the school and you went out into the industry. Tell me what your first big job was when you went.
All right, so my first big job would never be seen by anyone, but it paid so well. It's a movie called Bolden. And the producer / director / writer was the heir to the Hyatt fortune. So there's the story of Buddy Bolden, who was a great jazz musician, and it covered a time span of about 1780 to early 1800s, his life, and it had a lot of beard work, some old age, and that's actually where I met Connor McCullough on that project. And
who we have on this installment that you'll want to see the interview, Connor McCullough, another one of our instructors.
Oh, he's a badass.
He's really good.
He is really good. So I met him on that project, and then from that I went on to do the bleeding with Connor, and very humbling experience working with Connor, by the way, because he's just...
He's outrageous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, talent. He's really talented.
I could explain it, and there's words do it no justice. His work is top notch. And went on to do the bleeding, and then, let's see, Zombieland, which was like my favorite project I've ever done. The most fun. I can't believe they paid me.
Yeah.
Like, I would show up to work every day and go, they're actually paying me to make hundreds of zombies every day.
I didn't know that you did zombie.
Me and, let's see, as far as other local guys here, there was 7, 8 makeup artists did all the application work. As Alterian did the
Tony Gardner.
Tony Gardner, yeah, he did all the pre-production, made all the pieces, him and Steve Prouty. And then we just slapped together, I was like, God, 300 zombies a day, you know, like just, and it was like, when I started out doing this business, and people said, what do you want to do when you grow up? I want to make hundreds of zombies every day. That's what I want to do. And I'm on set, you know, and it's a real movie, it's not, you know, a little thing. You know, and when we were
It's
watching,
not Night of the Living.
yeah, it's an actual budgeted film.
Right.
And as we were watching them film it, I'm watching the actors, and I'm like, man, this movie's gonna suck. And then when we actually saw the previews and everything, I was like, thank God for editing.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So it was probably the most fun I've ever had.
Yeah.
On
Well, it
the
looked
set.
like fun.
Yeah.
It really did. It was just.
It was just as much fun to
filled with gore. I mean, you guys just went over the top.
And, you know, I learned a lot of cool techniques, little simple things, a lot of it I already knew.
Right.
But you sort of forget.
But expanded from those.
But you forget little things.
Right.
Like, you know, oh yeah, you can do that.
Right.
I haven't done that since I was a kid.
Wasn't it really great to have had 10 years of instruction behind you and all of that experience before you jumped in?
You talk about a confidence builder.
There you go.
Confidence builder. And it's funny because it's like, you know, I associate a lot of things with martial arts.
Right. He's a black belt, right?
A little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit. But I associate...
Maybe a little bit black belt.
It was a long time ago. I'm getting back into it. But I associate a lot of things with martial arts, and it's makeup very similar to martial arts. You focus on the basics, you'll win the fight.
Right.
You can do a bunch of fancy, elaborate things that look cool, but you might end up messing up.
Right.
So keep it simple, stupid.
Exactly.
You know? So, and in 10 years of instructing the same, I say basics, but basics is a big word when you're talking about makeup.
Oh, absolutely.
And after 10 years of instructing, it was like, I have the steadiest hand.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, eyeliner, no problem.
Flows.
Yeah. and the confidence, you know, and not to mention, you know, when you're dealing with, you know, 300 extras in a room,
Fast.
I also can be fast, and I also know how to deal with large groups of people and organize, you know, so it's definitely, I have no regrets whatsoever.
So, you producers and directors and production managers out there, if you're doing a big budgeted picture, and you have large groups of people that need to be turned into zombies or anything, here's your man, right here, Mr. Zombieland himself.
Yeah, and then after Zombieland, I've picked up a lot of stuff in Germany.
Yes.
Which is a really strange, long story. I don't know if you have this much time.
Yeah, we do.
We'll edit it. We'll edit it down.
You picked up what in Germany?
Okay, so while I was teaching for you, I also worked at Skull Kingdom, which was the year-round haunted attraction. So then I'm on Bolden, the most expensive home movie ever made.
Right.
And one of the stuntmen also worked at Skull Kingdom, you know, as his career had progressed.
Right.
And he says, hey, Mark was looking for you. He's doing this haunt in Germany, and he wants you to come out and check it out. And I'm like, haunts? I do movies now. I'm not going to do a haunt. So he flies me out to Germany, and turns out that he has become a huge pop success in Germany with this Lou Pearlman project.
Wow.
And now he is considered the Gruselmeister, which is the horror master of Germany. And he does everything from making films to sponsoring a huge haunt out there. So I've been working with him for doing everything from horror meets fashion shows, television shows. We're actually in the works right now of a feature film, which is going to be, it's kind of a new take on the zombie thing.
Right.
It's zombies with extreme intelligence, which would be, you know, something that hasn't really been done yet. Yeah. It's like, I want to eat your brain, and I have tools, and and I can trick you. And I'm going
to do it right.
Yeah, and I can trick you, and you know. So it's a new take on it, and it's a really interesting project. And apart from that,
well, does this mean that you've been doing a lot of, like, Travis Pate's avant-garde types of makeups?
That's
like really, fantasy type, over the top.
Yeah, that's a really good way to put it. It's a combination of Zombieland meets body painting. Really, it's a very strange sort of.
This is where the Wolf Brothers came in, right? You were talking to me about your affiliation with Brian. And
well, actually, the Wolf Brothers, I met them in the Skull Kingdom days. I mean, I've known them since they had full heads of hair. That's for them. I'm sure they'll be watching this. But in their defense, I had a full head of hair then, too.
Yeah. And I'm rapidly losing, so I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So you've been, you had this great association in Germany, and then you learned an awful lot. You picked up great techniques there, and now you're back here. You came back to the States,
and Europe is definitely my second home now. I have actually.
Where? In Germany?
Germany, Baden-Baden. It's you can literally, like, if you stand on the front porch, you can see the mountains of France and you can see the mountains of Switzerland.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah, so you could literally walk to two different.
Yeah, I had a distributor that was based in Wiesbaden.
Wiesbaden.
Right out, right.
Schminkhof?
Yeah, no, it's right outside of.
No, it wasn't.
No, it's right outside of Frankfurt, by about 20 miles or so. It's just gorgeous. Castles.
Castles everywhere. It's a beautiful area, and I try to spend my Halloweens there. They actually have the castle, the Frankenstein's castle, which is supposedly the castle that inspired the story.
Right.
And I have to do my research on that because I'm like, are you sure it was here?
I think Mary Shelley, I don't know that she ever even went to Germany.
If there was an actual, but they call it Frankenstein's castle. Right. It's a beautiful
I'm sure
haunt
she did.
out there. And then we do our haunt in Roost, and it's, because Germany, they really don't have a Halloween like we do,
right?
Because it's an American tradition. So
and boy, has it become something.
And it's like we brought it there, and it's like, hey guys, check this out. And at first they're like, oh my God, and then they're like, wow, that's really cool.
Right. Well, it's Walpurgis Night. Walpurgis Night.
Walpurgis Night.
Which is, I believe, the same name for it in Europe, I think.
Yeah, interesting.
Hey, so, all right, so now, you're back.
I'm back.
And we're going to be doing great things here at the school.
Yep.
And tell me, we know we have you scheduled to come in to do this advanced prosthetics class.
Yes.
What are we going to be doing in that class?
I believe the best thing for us at this point is we need to do a full head cast, right? We need to do.
This is the day class.
For the day class.
This is the master's. It's the Master's 1 program, which are the students who took the professional class and then went on to take the advanced prosthetics class. So you're going to be teaching the advanced prosthetics class during the day.
Right. So life casting, obviously, when you're talking about prosthetics, is step 1.
Right.
So apart from design, but we don't have to get. So life casting, full head cast. I think from there we're probably going to stick with the zombie theme. Go with.
Well, we're working in a movie. We're doing a movie.
I didn't know if I could mention that.
Yeah, we're doing a movie. I think I'd mentioned it before. This class is actually going to be working a movie, and we're going to have like hundreds of zombies. It's being shot on location here in Sanford, Florida, which is about 30 miles away from here or so, 30, 40 miles away. And it should be very, very exciting. And our students are going to have a ball doing it, and you are going to be creating the zombies.
These zombies will
and Connor McCullough may also be involved with that.
So the first AP class will be doing anything foreground, background, mid-ground.
Right.
And then Connor's, it was an AP2?
Yeah, well, it's now the Master's 2. The first is the combination of professional and advanced prosthetics is called the Master's 1 program. And then in the evening, we teach the Master's 2 program, which is a much more in-depth, 32-week-long course, which is our accredited course.
And those will be all the hero zombies and any gags that you might have planned for it.
Right.
So
and when I say accredited, we're moving in that direction. That course will be accredited, and eventually, and very soon, actually, we're hoping. Hey, listen. Okay, so now, to you, what's the most important message to relay to our audience out there? We have like between 2,000 and 3,000 viewers a day now, and they all watch. They're all makeup artists, makeup students, special makeup effects artists, hairstylists, wig makers, and the like. Even production people, actors, actresses. we have a very diversified audience, I'm very pleased to say. And for those people who are interested in makeup artistry, give us some words of advice.
I have a motto, and it's strong, and I say it all the time, and it's anyone can do anything.
Right.
I've seen, you know, amazing things out of people that you wouldn't expect it from.
Right.
And you've heard the term, like, if I can do it, anybody can do it.
Right.
Well, if I can do it,
Right.
anybody can do this. But it's, again, we're not making the world a better place. We're not curing cancer. We're not curing cancer. It's not rocket science. It's not.
Right. It washes off at the end of the night.
It's not even a tattoo. Exactly.
Right. Exactly.
But it can be so much more.
Yeah.
You know, it's.
Well, it's forever.
Once it's called.
It's forever. So it's got to be good. It's got to be right. Otherwise,
But it's confidence is better than a brush. Like if I opened up my kit and I didn't have that one brush I need, I can use something else.
Right.
But if I open my kit and I don't have confidence,
there's nothing in that kit you can
there's
use.
nothing in that kit that's going to help you.
That's right.
So it's all about understanding that you are capable of doing anything you want to do.
And confidence is built by and through
practice. Much like, again, going back to the martial arts.
Right.
You do that punch 100
Right.
times, and then when you need it, and that goes back to confidence.
Right.
Because if you are confident in what you do, not a false confidence,
Right.
not a cockiness,
Right.
but if you are confident in what you do,
Right.
then anything, even when you do mess up,
Right.
let's say I drop the ball.
Right.
Right? Oh, I'm sorry, was that your eye?
Right.
Because of my past, because of my actual reputation that I've already built, and
Right.
and as well as what's in my head,
Right.
and I know it's there.
Right.
That one mistake is not a dream killer.
No.
That one mistake is it's
a learning mechanism.
It's a learning absolutely. It's a learning
If
experience.
you're going to be honest with yourself.
But as soon as you say, "Oh, it was because the model moved,"
Uh-huh.
well, you should have known the model was going to.
Well, you should have known how to position your hand
All right.
so that you wouldn't poke her eye
Yeah,
out.
no
with the
matter
brush.
which way she moves, you should have been
Right,
on that. You should,
exactly.
And it's it comes with time. And I think when you have an older person who thinks they're a makeup artist
Right.
that comes to a school anyway,
Right.
the first thing you should ask them when you see that attitude is, why are you here?
Yeah.
If you already know, why are you here?
Yeah, exactly.
Because obviously you needed the training or you wouldn't be here.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's hard to deal with people without being a jerk. Because you want to just like wring their necks.
I keep going back, but you can't do that. I keep going. You have to be diplomatic, and you have to try to. You have to try to.
You have to lead by
educate.
example.
Okay, exactly.
Lead by
So,
example.
but here's the thing. Sometimes it's difficult. It boils down to this. If you are very, very talented, the more egotistical you are, the longer it's going to take for you to really, really get liked by people. Unless you're working for big production companies that have people,
tiny cog in the wheel.
who have even bigger egos than you and see you as just a puppet.
Yeah.
And a lot of these guys who are extremely talented, with these huge labs and whatnot, are kind of like that. They're very egotistical.
I know guys that are awesome.
Awesome, yeah.
With a brush, but
Yeah.
cannot find a job.
Yeah.
Because no one likes them.
Yeah. Okay, so that again now takes me back to another thing that Ben Nye Sr. once told me. And you'll notice I reference Ben Nye Sr. a lot. He was like a father to me, honestly. I learned a lot from the man. And he said to me, because I was a little punk, I thought I knew it all when I was a kid, And he said to me, humility. He says, yes, yeah, you're good. You're good, but nobody's going to like you if you come off like a pompous ass.
And it's, no matter how good you are, you ain't that good.
Well, but that again goes back to, hey, we're not curing cancer.
Exactly.
Anyway, now we're not doing this to discourage any of you. We just want you to know that if you're really thinking of getting into the real world of makeup artistry, there's a lot to it. It's multidimensional. There's a lot to understand, a lot to know about politics.
Psychology.
Psychology, dealing with people, et cetera, management of people, to be a good department head. There is a lot that comes into play. And have you been department heading?
Not on any feature films. That's my goal right now.
Yes. You have not lost the passion.
Not at all.
For the gore, and what you got into the industry.
I'm eternally.
All you guys and girls out there that want to really, really get into gore and blood and monsters and all this and that, and alien creation, this is your guy right here, especially the gore part. And he is one of our instructors here at the Orlando, Florida school. And you know, in actuality, the Florida school is kind of like the sister to the Hollywood school, but.
I've taught out there in Hollywood too.
Yeah, what's that?
You've
taught in Hollywood too, right? Yeah. And the Hollywood school is a phenomenal place.
Huge.
It's huge. It's much bigger than the Orlando school, but there's a charm to the Orlando school, and actually we've expanded the Orlando school, and now we have this building that is MUA TV, and we have an MUA TV studio also there, and we're going to have an MUA TV studio in New York as well. So we're expanding, and there's so much in the works. And we're just moving and moving and moving, and I am so tired. I'm trying to keep myself in shape, you know.
Me too.
And that's a very, very important thing for you guys out there and gals. You know, if you're going to be working these kind of long hours, you really have to take care of yourself. You know, you can't do the partying and the alcohol and all that stuff. That's back when you were young, okay? Younger. Way younger, but if you're young now and you haven't started that Hollywood partying routine, please don't.
Don't do it.
Please don't do it. Stay true to your art, stay true to yourself, and you will be very successful. You'll be very happy and glad that you did. Bill, you want to give us your last thoughts here?
Hopefully it's not my last thoughts.
Well, your last thoughts on this show. For today. For today.
I really look forward to getting back into the teaching. It's been a while since I've done it.
It will be really good to have you back.
Yeah, and I kind of look forward to, because there's that moment where a student decides whether or not he likes you.
Right.
He or she.
Right.
And I always like playing with that moment.
Right.
Like, I'll show them something and then they're like, you know, that's interesting what he showed me, but was his delivery, was that polite? You know, because I can be a little bit of a jerk sometimes.
Well, can't we all?
For comedy reasons, though.
Right.
And I love that moment when the student actually figures out, I'm just kidding.
Right.
that moment when they're like, oh man, he got me.
Well, see,
and slipping in education at the same time.
Right. Right, exactly. Yeah, you'll have to do some of our trade shows too in the future.
Huh?
You've done trade shows with us.
I've done the trade shows. I was there for the great trade show collapse in New York. Remember
the whole thing came down?
The whole thing came down.
Oh, you were there?
I was there for that. It was chaos.
Oh, wasn't that?
That was interesting.
Yeah, that was a whole nother program.
That was interesting.
That would be the subject of another show.
Another show.
Completely another show.
I learned a lot that day.
You know, when you pay someone, you know, $10,000 to be a diamond or whatever they categorize it, sponsor, you know, you don't expect your name to be put underneath someone who you terminated from your company. I thought that would be a real insult. But anyway, again, as I said, that's the subject of an entirely another show.
Story.
You know, I'm really having more fun now than I've ever had before. I'm semi-retired, but I'm still supervising the schools, and more importantly, I am the only makeup school owner that is still currently working as a makeup artist.
Semi-retired, aren't you doing?
I'm doing mystery diagnosis, and I am not just doing regular makeup. I'm in there doing out of the box and prosthetics, disease effects that are quite fantastic, and I'm loving every second of it. And I hope that all of you out there are tuning in. And if you haven't seen them, I'll show you some of the shows because they've sent me some of the discs.
But I don't think you can use the term semi-retired yet.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah, I think you're misusing the term.
I'm not retired
You're not retired at all.
With the amount of hours I'm putting in. Okay, this has been a real hoot. And it's great to have you back.
Always a pleasure.
Welcome back.
Thank you, sir.
And all of you out there, I really look forward to hearing from you. Send us your comments, and if we like them, we'll read them and share them with our entire audience. If we don't like them, we'll throw them away. How's that? No, just kidding. We will read those too. You know, what the hell? I think I think that this has been a great show. It's been just great seeing you again. I'm glad to have you back.
Good to be back.
And I want you guys out there to check out themakeupspace.com. And you know, you can go to our current on-air playlist, which is right over here on the side right here of the screen, and you click on current on-air playlist, and you'll be able to watch this interview again and again and again and again and again, or anything that's on MUA TV during this installment again and again and again. So remember, you have our on air now, and you click on that. That's what comes up without clicking as soon as you go on to MUATV.com. The normal feed, just like television, comes on. But if there's anything, if you want to see what's on the programming and how they're categorized, go to the on air, the current on air playlist, which is a list of everything that's going to be played, and you can click on any one of those things, and you can watch what you want to watch. All right, and. We get a lot of people who actually call us and they say they're addicted to this. Anyway, Joe Blasco, Bill McCoy signing off, and this has been, what has this been? This has been MUA TV's Spotlight on Success. So don't go away, we've got a lot more makeup and hair programming right here for you. And we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.